Hi everyone, it's Karen here from dolallycrafts. Welcome to another card making video. For those that haven't been here before, hi, welcome. I'm a Stampin' Up demonstrator based in Mornington, Victoria. My name is Karen and I appreciate any and all purchases made in my online store. The link is just down below. Everything I'm using today is available in my online store. So please, if you would like to make this card and you don't have all the products, please consider purchasing from me, because every purchase you make makes it easier for me to make some tutorials. Okay, enough with my spruiking. Let's get on with this. I'm using the bird Ballad suite today. I love these little birds. Now I will be making the card not with watercolours, not with a watercolour pen, but with my Wink of Stella pen, because each of these birds and all of the different pieces, all the different elements in here have all got a beautiful gleam which probably is not showing up on camera. Okay, I'm just getting something following me on my video up there. Okay, so let's get on with it. The inside stamping isn't the best, I stuffed up a bit, but we'll start. And I've actually changed the ribbon that I'm using and I've updated the design just a little bit. So all of the bits and pieces can be found on my blog. I'll just move that aside for a moment. Okay, I've just realised I don't have the card base there. So we'll bring the card base in. Okay, I've got a scrap of white which I'm going to use in one of my punches. I haven't used this punch on any cards yet. It's this one and I really like it. It's got two different edges that you can use. So you could either have just a wavy edge showing like that, or you can flip it over and have a really nice lacy edge showing. So that was what appealed to me about this punch. So that's what the scrap of cardstock is for. I've got a couple of pieces of the ribbon which I'll be using later, and I actually cut a 4 1/4 strip off a 12 by 12 piece of DSP. When it flipped it over, I was lucky enough to realise that I'd used it in the portrait mode when I'd trimmed it instead of going that way. So when I made this card, I actually cut it to 5 1/2, so it fit that way on my card. This one I've also, and I've just realised I've cut it a bit too short. No worries, we'll just trim off. How long is that card? Ah, that's why. It's actually cut to 5 7/8, and it's only supposed to be cut to 5 3/4. So I'll trim that piece off, and this piece should actually fit a bit better now. There we go. Okay, so we're back to what we should have. And because I only needed 5 1/2, I actually had a couple of leftover pieces. So we're going to decorate the inside of the card. Okay, as I said, all of the measurements will be found on my blog. So let's start. First, I'm going to, before I do anything else, because this makes a bit of a mess, I'm going to stick this in. And what you do is you, depending on how wide your card is, try and have that equidistant on either side of the punch. Punch it out, then move it up and match the pattern with the silver print. I think that's it. Yep. Okay, so we'll match that. Stamp again, and then bring it down this side. Match the pattern up again, which is there, and punch out again. So there we go. As you can see, you've got a bit of confetti coming out the bottom here. So I'll brush that into my rubbish cup. Get rid of that. Whoops. Don't throw your punch around, Karen. Okay, so we've got our lacy bits there. I'm going to bring in my silicone mat, and it's really good using this because nothing sticks to it. So I'm going to put some snail along the bottom there. Lift it over. And I'm going to have the lacy side showing, I think. So I'm just going to line the pull party up with the points of these centre teardrops. Press down. So that's given it a really pretty lace edge. And then do the same on the other side. Okay, bring this piece in, and then once again, what I'm lining it up with, if I can find something to point with, is these tips on the centre ones of these teardrops, so that I know I'm lining it up straight on the lace. And there we go, we've got the lace top and bottom, and that looks really pretty. So I'll move that aside and then bring in our central piece. Now originally on this card I used Memento, but that's not a waterproof ink. So I'm bringing in my stays on this time, and what I do is give it a twist and then a pat. Now I'm doing it this way up because it's a fairly large stamp. I want to make sure that I get good coverage. I'm going to try and centre this in. Give it a press. Beautiful. That came out really, really nice. Now, even though this is stays on, it should just come off with a bit of the Stampin' mist in your scrubber. Okay, oh, I'm really pleased with that. Now, while I've got this out, I'm actually going to pop the happy birthday sentiment underneath. Just turn it round slightly. There. It does get a bit lost in the leaves, but it still looks good. Always remember to store your stays on upside down so the ink stays on the top of the pad. Okay, so move all of those out the way for now because I don't need them. Let's get the inside of the card done. So I will need to bring the stays on back in. And I'm using a sentiment out of, if I can find it, the Special Celebrations, which is, I hope your day brings just what it should. Health, happiness, health, and everything good. So give it a twist and then tap tap. That doesn't look as though, there. Okay. Leave it just for a second. That printed out so much better this time than it did on the inside of the other one. So I'm really pleased with that. Now, in with the silicone mat again, and in with these two pieces that I trimmed off. I'm going to put some snail on the back of each piece, like so. The birds can go just up the top, and I'm just giving about 1/8 of an inch border across the top there, and I'm just going to trim that off because it's a little bit wider than it needs to be. So there we go. So I've got a few birds peeking over the edge there, and then on the bottom just a couple of the little blossoms. Once again across the bottom, and I'll just trim that little bit off the edge. And there we go. The inside of the card looks really pretty. Yes, I like that. Okay, let's get to the outside. So to begin with, I'm going to pop this on so it's done and dusted. And just a bit in the centre so that it doesn't balloon up. Now that has been cut too wide again. Okay, bear with me for a moment. I'm trying to stay within the polka dots on the pattern. There we go. It's a bit too wide on that side, but it's not too bad considering how I had to do it. I'll make sure that I've got the correct measurements listed on my blog. Okay, now for our decoration panel. The colours I'm using are Old Olive, Crumb Cake, Pool Party, Calypso Coral. Not Powder Pink. It's supposed to be Daffodil Delight. So there we go. There's the 5 colours that we're going to use. So I'll come in with the Old Olive first and we'll do all of the leaves. So a little bit of ink in the palette there. And I'm just going to dilute it slightly. And even though Whisper White doesn't normally like a lot of liquid on it, it tends to blister. This isn't too bad because we're only using a tiny bit in areas. I will speed through this so that you don't have to stay and painstakingly, or watch me painstakingly trying to stay within the lines, because I don't have my reading glasses on. So I will speed through this for you. Okay, so that's all done. I hope you've enjoyed seeing this part. As you can see, well, you probably can't see on here, but it does glimmer and shine. It's absolutely beautiful. And I just took the colours from the palette that they've actually used at Stampin' Up to come out with the DSP. So that is going to sit really nicely on there. So I'll just pop that on now. Really pretty. I like that. I like it so much more than the other one. And I'm going to bring in, I don't even think that it really needs that. I might actually just make a faux knot like so. I'm just going to trim like so and just put that to the side there. Actually, if I just pop it to the side there, yes, I think that will look really nice. So I've got to find my glue dots. Actually quite large glue dots here, so I'm going to fold that and roll it, pop it to the side there, and then pop that on. I really, yes, I do like that. I hope you do as well. Okay, pop that over and in with my dimensionals. And 1, 2, 3, whoops, 4, and 1 in the center just for support. So we'll take the backing off those. Beautiful. I really, really like that. I think it's so much nicer than the other one. Isn't it amazing when you change things up just a little bit, how much of a difference it makes? Okay, going to come in. Now, these are the Share What You Love artisan pearls. I don't know that they're still available, but you can use whatever you have in your stash. And I'm just going to pop 3 across here. Like so. And then 1 here. Oops. 1 here. And just 1 at the top there. And that is a really simple embellishment decoration. Apart from the fact that this is sticking up, I really like that. Tell me what you think down below, whether you prefer the sample card or the one I've just finished. As I said, inside is so much neater and more decorated. So yeah, let me know down below which one you prefer. As I said, all of the products that I've used today can be found on the shopping cart at the moment, so just click the link below. That's enough from me for this week, and I will see you next week. Bye bye.